everyone! Have you ever wondered who fixes that broken road in a village? Or who decides to build a new well? You might think it's some big shot politician from the city, right? Well, what if I told you the real power is with the villagers themselves? Yep, today we're diving into an awesome system in India that puts power right back where it belongs. Let's get into it. Okay, so just imagine this. You're riding your cycle down the main village road, and it's all bumpy and shaky, thump, 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 potholes everywhere. It's super annoying, right? And maybe even a little dangerous. So whose job is it to fix it? Do you call the prime minister, the chief minister? Nope, the person in charge is actually much, much closer to home. In fact, you probably even know them. And the answer to that problem lies in something called the Panchayati Raj system. Now I know, it sounds like a big, complicated name, but trust me, the idea is super simple. It basically means village rule. It's all about giving the power to solve local problems, like that bumpy road, to the very people who live right there. Power to the people for real.
So let's break it down. What exactly is Panchayati Raj? Well, it's a system where everyone living in a village gets to vote for their own leaders, their own team of problem solvers. And this team's job is to take care of all the local stuff, things that affect their own community and interests. It's like democracy starting from the ground up, right in your own backyard.
Okay, so how does this whole thing even get started? Well, it all kicks off with a huge, super important meeting. And when I say huge, I mean everyone is invited. This isn't some secret club for a few special people. This big meeting has a special name, the Gram Sabha, and it's the absolute foundation for everything else. All right, we've got two big words here that sound kind of similar, so let's make sure we get them straight. Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat. Here's an easy way to think about it. The Gram Sabha is like the entire school assembly. Every single adult in the village, anyone 18 years or older, is a part of it. It's where everyone gets together to talk, discuss problems, and share ideas. Now, the Gram Panchayat, that's like the student council you elect from the assembly. They're the smaller action team, chosen by everyone to actually take those ideas and make them happen. So you can see the Gram Sabha is a pretty big deal, right? It has to get together at least 2 times every year, and in these meetings, anyone can stand up and talk about what the village needs. But here's its most important job. It acts like a watchdog. It keeps a close eye on the Gram Panchayat, that action team, to make sure they're doing their job right. The Gram Sabha even has to approve how the village's money is spent, so no one can just use the funds without everyone agreeing. So after all the talking and discussing in the big Gram Sabha meeting, who actually rolls up their sleeves and gets to work? That would be our village action team, the Gram Panchayat. They're the elected folks who turn all that talk into real action. They are the doers. And look at this. One of their biggest, most important jobs is making sure kids have a great place to learn. That's right, the Gram Panchayat is in charge of building and looking after the village's primary schools. That's a massive deal, isn't it? But wait, there's more. They don't just stop at schools. They do a whole bunch of other stuff. Remember our bumpy road from the beginning? Yep, fixing roads is their job. They also collect local taxes, make sure the village stays clean and healthy, and work on getting everyone important things like electricity and safe drinking water. Basically, they're in charge of all the things that make village life better for everyone. Now, you might be wondering, how do they pay for all this? Building roads and schools costs money, right? Well, they get it from a few different places. They collect small taxes from things like local shops or houses. The state government also gives them money, which are called grants. And sometimes people in the community even donate for special projects. It's like a real team effort to fund everything. Okay, let's take a step back for a second and look at the bigger picture. A single Gram Panchayat isn't all alone in this. It's actually part of a big team, a 3-level team to be exact. It's called a 3-tier system. And it's designed so that every village has some backup and support. It's super easy to understand if you think of it like a pyramid. Right at the bottom, you've got the Gram Panchayat for one village. Then, in the middle, you have something called the Block Samiti, which looks after a whole group of villages. And sitting at the very top for the entire district is the Zila Parishad. See? Level 1, Level 2, and Level 3. Each one helping the one below. So, what's the point of these other levels? Well, think about it. What if 2 villages need to build a road that connects them? The Block Samiti steps in to help them work together. Or what if the whole district needs a big new hospital? That's a huge project.
The Zila Parashad at the top helps manage these bigger things and coordinates with the state government. They're like the team captains, making sure everyone works together.
Whoa, that was a lot of info, but I think you've got it. So how about a quick quiz to see what you remember? Let's test your knowledge. Ready? Let's go. All right, first up, true or false? Number 1, local self-governments are only found in villages. True or false? It's false. Cities have them too. Okay, number 2, the Zila Parashad works at the block level. Think about that pyramid. That is false. They're at the district level, the very top. Number 3, the head of a Gram Panchayat is called a Sarpanch. That is true. You got it. Next, Gram Panchayats build primary schools. Yes, absolutely true. And the last one, the block samiti is the top level of the system. Nope, that's false. The Zila Parashad is at the top. Great job. Now for a round of fill in the blanks. I'll start the sentence, you finish it. The big meeting with all the adults in the village is called the Gram Sabha. Exactly. And it has to happen at least 2 times a year. Awesome. Now, the government official who helps keep records is the secretary. You got it. And last one, the block summities supervise the work of the Gram Panchayats. Perfect. Okay, time for a lightning round. Question 1. What are the 3 levels of government in India? That's central, state, and local. Boom. Question 2. What is a Gram Sabha? It's the meeting of all the adults 18 and over in the village, right? Question 3. Who's the head of the Gram Panchayat? It's the Sarpanch, or the Pradhan. You're on fire.
Let's keep going. Next question, what does the secretary do? Their job is to keep all the records and paperwork in order and supervise the work. Exactly. And what's the name of the group that works at the block level? It's the Block Samathi, also called the Panchayat Samathi. You've totally got this.
Okay, let's wrap up with the really big ideas. First, why is this system so cool? Because it lets people elect their own leaders to make decisions about their own villages. Second, what's the Gram Panchayat all about? They're the doers, building roads, providing clean water and electricity, running schools, and collecting taxes. And third, what about the Zila Parashad? They're the coordinators, connecting everyone, the Gram Panchayats, the block committees, and the state government. Simple as that. And there you have it. That's the Panchayati Raj system, a powerful way for people to take charge of their own villages. So I have one last question for you. If you could be the Sarpanch of your village for just one day, what would be the very first thing you would do? What problem would you want to solve? Give it some thought. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one.